Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are unpacking something genuinely fascinating. We're looking at a highly engineered, AI-driven corporate framework from a company called OptimusGavin. Now, this isn't just another one of those standard business plans that's destined to just collect dust on a shelf somewhere. No, this is a massively ambitious architectural blueprint for global scale. OptimusGavin is aiming to be the definitive operating system for enterprise execution. Basically, they want to bridge that notoriously huge gap between visionary consulting and actual on-the-ground reality. So if you've ever wondered how modern enterprises actually plan to wipe out operational fragmentation, well, you're definitely in the right place.
So here's our game plan for today. First, the evolution of execution. Second, the 7-platform arsenal. Third, we'll dive into the compounding intelligence engine. And finally, Vision 2031, Global Dominance.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, Evolution of Execution. Before we get completely lost in all the heavy tech and AI ecosystems, we actually need to look at their cultural bedrock. The entire OptimusGavin framework rests on this surprisingly simple equation. Better you plus better me equals better us. Their whole ethos is about proactively conquering change by forging unbreakable bonds. They aren't just chasing standard profit margins, they're aiming for what they call holistic triumphs. And what that means is delivering measurable, exponential value for both stakeholders and global communities at the exact same time.
So how does that ethos actually translate in the real world? Well, they map it all out in a 1,000-plus-year legacy framework. It's structured in 3 distinct eras. From 2017 to 2021, they were laying the groundwork. It started as a dual-entity venture in India and the US, with North American co-founder Ravi Ravori and his companies building out the global consulting arm to really prove out the concepts. Then, from 2022 to 2025, came the stealth unification phase. This is where OptimusGavin officially emerged as the global parent company, pulling all the entities, the product engineering, and the assets under one single umbrella. And now, looking to 2026 and beyond, they are stepping into their era of 7-platform global dominance.
And their leadership style for executing this timeline is just wild. It's a totally fascinating, almost paradoxical combination. On one side, you've got military precision. This draws directly from an armed forces legacy, meaning absolute zero ambiguity and 100% accountability. Literally no excuses. But then, on the other side, you have Gen Z agility. This is highly data-driven, fast execution using deep tech engineering. So it's this rigid, unyielding discipline paired up with lightning-fast technological adaptability.
That totally unique cultural blend, it comes straight from the top. They have a leadership group they call the Titan Force Cabinet, and these guys bring over 200 years of combined command experience to the table. Leading the charge is Shirendra Sagar, the sole founder and chairman. Right beside him is Colonel S.K. Sinha, the group's CEO, who injects that direct armed forces operational mindset into the DNA of the company. And of course, Ravi Ravori, the managing partner for North America, driving that global consulting business.
Okay, moving right along to Section 2, the 7-platform arsenal.
Let's strip away the corporate jargon for a second. What exactly is an AI-native enterprise transformation? Simply put, it's a systematic overhaul of business operations using an interconnected, highly automated ecosystem. I mean, we've all seen it happen, right? Consultants hand over this absolutely brilliant strategy deck, and then it just completely falls apart the second they try to execute it. OptimusGavin's entire model is built to solve that exact problem. They use their proprietary tech to ensure high-level advisory accelerates directly into flawless on-the-ground reality.
And here is the actual machinery that makes the whole thing possible. Their 7-platform arsenal. Let's run through these structural pillars real quick. You've got Progno.ai, which is the enterprise cognitive core, essentially the brain of the operation. Then, Velytics acts as the financial command. OG Cloud handles the infrastructure. For talent, there's TapForks. To protect the whole shebang, Trio Ghosts provides cyber resilience. OG Glassbox offers absolute operational transparency, and rounding it out is OG Talks, their market visibility platform. The strategy here is super clear. Every single operational vulnerability a modern enterprise might face has a dedicated proprietary platform to fix it.
Which brings us to Section 3, the compounding intelligence engine.
Having 7 separate platforms is awesome, but how do they actually talk to one another? Well, this is what OptimusGavin calls the OG data flywheel. It's basically the secret plumbing working behind the scenes. Step 1, the platforms gather massive amounts of data from all over the enterprise. We're talking talent, finance, security, everything. Step 2, all of that raw data flows directly into the Progno.ai core. And step 3, because the AI now has this holistic, God's eye view of the entire company, it just continuously optimizes execution across every single layer. The magic here is the compounding intelligence. Basically, the more data this ecosystem processes, the smarter and more ruthlessly efficient it gets.
All right, let's head into our final stretch. Section 4, Vision 2031, Global Dominance. The core mechanism powering their massive scaling strategy relies on a concept called operational arbitrage. To put it simply, it's about driving highly efficient, technologically optimized enterprise operations from a base in India out to the rest of the world. By leveraging their AI-native ecosystem from this hub, they're aiming to basically export this efficiency and become the definitive operating system for global enterprise scale.
So, what do their targets for 2031 actually look like? Let's do a quick data blitz. It all kicks off with establishing 7 key Tier 2 hubs.
And from those initial hubs, they plan to rapidly push their operational footprint into more than 50 countries worldwide. That is massive geographical scale in a very tight time frame.
Across those 50-plus countries, the goal is to onboard over 1,000 major enterprise clients, taking their historically messy operations and standardizing them into the pristine OptimusGavin ecosystem.
But hey, it's not just about the software. They are targeting a huge socioeconomic impact too, aiming to create over 5,000 mission-driven jobs that offer highly predictable scale and stability for professionals. And all of this culminates in one giant financial milestone, a target of over $1 billion in annual recurring revenue. Honestly, when you look back at that 7-platform arsenal and the compounding data flywheel we just talked about, you start to see how this aggressive, yet totally mathematical progression logically projects right toward this massive revenue goal.
Which leaves us with this final thought. We've looked at the blueprint, right? We've seen this ethos of unbreakable bonds, a highly engineered platform ecosystem, and a data flywheel that's just pushing aggressive growth. The whole framework is laid out with absolute military precision and deep tech agility. But the real question is this: in a world where corporate transformations notoriously fail all the time, will OptimusGavin's unique blend of operational arbitrage and compounding AI actually become the new global standard by 2031? It is a bold, highly ambitious vision for sure, and it's going to be absolutely fascinating to watch this blueprint translate into reality. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning and keep asking the big questions.